Zoom. Okay. So hi, I'm Marlene. I'm a physical therapist, and you're at the Mommy Me and Tea Wellness Group class. This is a functional play class to help promote your baby's milestones. Let's see here. Oops, sorry. Okay, so in this class, we're going to talk about typical baby developmental milestones and how to promote them through play, how to progress the strategies you learn here to help promote your baby's mobility, and to start working on future milestones. I figure we're such a small group that we could introduce ourselves, tell everyone your baby's name, how old your baby is, something about yourself, and what your favorite baby product is and why. I'll go ahead and go first. So I'm Marlene. I graduated with my doctorate in PT from the UT Health Science Center in San Antonio. That's where I'm from, Texas. I predominantly have pediatric experience in all ages, but I fell in love with treating early intervention when we were stationed in Virginia. I have a 9 and a 10-year-old, and then we had our surprise baby. So now I have my adorable 8-week-old Levi. My favorite product, yesterday, Levi had this huge booger in his nose, and he has these little tiny nostrils. And, and I just remember with my boys using saline and the rubber suction thing, and it was so uncomfortable for him. So I got this like nasal aspirator, and it's like, electronic and sucks. and it has music and also, and so I used it, and it was amazing. It was like fun. It was just like, and like got it. So I think that's my favorite so far. There's some others, but that has to be the top right now. And if you all are interested in the product, I could send you a link later. So who wants to go next in introducing themselves?
I'll go. I'm Brittany Stevens, and this is baby Austin, and he is not with it right now. So he's 9 weeks. I am a teacher. I teach kindergarten, but I'm not going back this year. So I get to stay home with my baby. This is my rainbow baby. So I'm grateful to have him. My first baby that made it to us. My favorite product right now has to be his swing. That's the only other place that we can kind of get him calm right now without holding him and everything. But that's kind of our fault. We spoiled him. Enjoying it. Thanks for this.
Thank you so much for sharing. And who else wants to go next?
I can go next. So my name is Lauren. This is Arthur. He is 8.5 months old. We moved here from San Antonio last August. So we've been here a little bit more than a year. And I worked at the Alamo Colleges while we were there. And our favorite baby product right now, he has this giraffe teether that's more like, I guess, like a hard plastic, and it helps soothe his gums a lot easier than any of the like little frozen ones that we've had. And he chomps on it the whole time we're in the car or anywhere. It's very nice. Really like it. It's from Dr. Brown's.
I like Dr. Brown. And who would like to go next?
I can go.
Okay.
Well, first, I don't know, is my video on?
Yes.
Okay. My name's Lindsay. This is my 8-month-old son, Tayson. I didn't see the slide before of everything we need to say, but I think his favorite toy is like anything silicone. He loves to chew on. And just like the lady previously, he's not like a big fan of like the cold teethers. He'd rather chew on like anything silicone. Yeah, he's 8 months old. Something about myself, I'm my husband's in the military, so we move out around a lot. We've been here for almost 3 years. I was a paraprofessional working with special ed kiddos, which I love, but I'm taking the year off for we'll see how long it goes. But yeah, that's about it.
And Kylie? And thank you so much, everyone, for talking about yourselves and being open to introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Kylie. This is Emmy. She is about 8.5 months old also. I am a NICU nurse at Children's. And our favorite baby product, I don't know. I feel like we've used so many up until this point. But right now I really do love the Love Every play kits that we get, because I feel like it helps with like her development and everything. And she really likes all of the toys. So
I heard good things about that box. I'll need to check it out. And their toys are pretty and like the pretty colors and
yeah, they're not like horribly, you know, like bright and everything else.
Okay, and then oops. And so, yeah, I just put mommy, me and tea, just because you don't have to drink tea or have tea, but it's just a cute little saying for taking a tea break. Like if you need to go tend to baby, your baby's crying. And so it's very laid back. And whenever you need to take a break, take a break. We're recording it so you can always go back and look at anything that you missed. So I just wanted to start by saying when you're playing with your baby, you want to make sure you're playing like no one's watching, make eye contact, engage. You can do funny noises, be silly. It's okay to be messy. And, sometimes even with like my older kids, I'll talk in accents. So I'll just be like, how are you doing today? And like, just watch like, no, just play and have fun and put your kid hat on. So I think sometimes as adults, that's one of the hardest things sometimes is just to put your kid hat on and it's okay to like look silly. So I just wanted to remind everybody of that. I do have a cute video here. This is one of my coworkers with her baby, and I just loved how she's using sound effects with action, because being silly and playing and doing those exaggerated gestures and everything, it really does help with early language skills. So it's also important for your baby's development. And this is just me playing with my niece, looking at her neck range of motion, but playing and singing a song and engaging with my facial expressions. So just another example of how you can play with intention and still work on things while having fun. And I know that, we have most of you are like 8 to 9 months. Your babies are 8 to 9 months. And then Brittany and our children are 8 to 9 weeks. So, there's a little bit of a difference, but I felt like we could all do the group together because the principles, as far as with my experience, what I feel is the same is that we're going to be working on weight shifting a lot. And a lot of the exercises that, I would do with Brittany's baby and my baby, like you all could still do with your babies. It just might look a little bit different. So with weight shifting, with everything that we do with rolling, sitting and reaching, transitioning in and onto, the baby going to the belly and then to sitting, crawling and even walking, we're shifting our weight to do these movements, and we're also doing diagonal shifts. So a lot of times when you're teaching your babies to do these weight shifting movements, you're going to first do it passively, and then you'll do what is called active assisted weight shifting, where you're helping, but they're participating in the movement. And then the end goal is for them to do it actively without your help. And then I did want to share this little video of me working with Levi on rolling. So we're trying toys now because that can also help in insulin. Wow. You can see how he's starting to like help with the roll. It's not just me doing it for him when I move him at his hip. And you can see how when you start to use the tracking and following toys, it can help you with the roll. Later, when he's able to reach, then I would use reaching to also help with rolling. So just kind of I'll pause it there. But yeah, so I wanted to share that also for Brittany, so that way when we're working on rolling, she has an example of working on rolling with a child that's the same age as hers. And I did some fine motor, just like putting the rattle in his hand and just like shake, 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 and adding that word also with the action. So already working on early communication, because doing things repetitively will help him later. But when he is able to reach later, then we can use reaching to help with that role too. So I know that your babies that are like 8 months, they're probably already rolling. But I do feel like rolling is a huge foundation to the other milestones. And lots of times I've worked with parents where they're like, oh yeah, my baby rolls. And then we look at them and they're only rolling to one side, or they're only maybe rolling like 1 to 2 out of 5 attempts. So they haven't mastered it yet. So I thought this would be a good time to look at your baby's role and see, are they struggling or are they doing it to both sides, and just to make sure that there's symmetry. And if they have mastered it, rolling is like cross training for those other skills, even the sitting and reaching, because it's like a full body workout, like you're using your whole body to like roll over. So it's almost like, yeah, I can squat, but if I do like so many squats, I'm getting my hamstrings and my butt stronger. So if your baby is already rolling, it's okay. We'll work on those consecutive rolls to reach a toy or reach a person. So it's still going to be a good workout. And then just to kind of go over milestones, when should my baby typically start to roll? Rolling from their side to their back is about 2 months. Back from their back to their side is about 4 months. And then back to belly and belly to back is usually about 6 months. So I know, so Brittany, is your baby able to roll from his side to his back?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
And then for my other moms, are your babies rolling? Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's yes. Okay, I see Kylie shaking her head yes.
Like nonstop. 1 second.
So it seems like everyone's baby's rolling, and I'm gonna skip these other slides. I was breaking up rolling into stages, but we're just gonna kind of do it. So if your baby is having trouble rolling or okay. So why don't we, if your baby's awake or able to, move right now, let's go ahead and now, do y'all want to do it all together? Hold on, let me stop sharing. Or do you want me to go to you all one at a time and then see if we can just kind of watch you all one at a time work on rolling?
I feel like one at a time, right?
Okay.
I don't know what everybody else thinks.
Yeah, we're such a small group. I think it's doable. And then we can learn from other, the other ones too. So, Kylie, do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to make it, see if I can, let's see. Okay.
Cooperate just because she's wanting to do everything else right now. Look, come here. Come over here. Now you're just gonna lay there and act like you don't do this.
No, that was a good roll. And then do you want to, so we can just like see if we can, and I know it's going to be kind of hard because she can already do so much. She probably won't do consecutive rolls. She'll probably just like roll and then get back up.
Yeah.
And doing the back to back. What if you, to make it a workout, let me get my, I know she can do it on her own, but let's just go ahead and have you kind of stay with her, guide her and play with her, and then try to get some of those, you know.
Okay. She doesn't like being put down right now. Ready? Gonna roll. Yeah, gotta roll again. Sorry, she's just very
Oh, so
awesome.
good, Emmy. Good job. She's mastered rolling.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you could even like and another tactic too that I've done too when I'm doing like therapy is I'll turn my camera off so that way it's not as distracting. And then when you're playing with her, you can kind of like get over her and get your face close and seeing, and then try to like if you're wanting to do that kind of like as a workout, and if she's having fun doing it, but she's already kind of gotten past that. So we'll get to those sitting, walking, and cruising a little bit later. Okay, and who wants to go next so we could see how your baby's doing?
I'll go next.
Okay.
He's getting kind of fussy, so let's try him.
Ooh, look at that sitting.
Come here. Come on. Come on. Come here. Oh, come here. You want that? Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, you's okay? Oh. Come here. Come here. Come on, you can do it. Come on. Taste it. Come on. Oh, come on.
And now what if you go ahead and lift up his bottom arm? Help him.
He just woke up from his nap before this started, so he's probably hungry.
Did you want to take a tea break and feed him, and then I can kind of talk about how when kids get their arms stuck when they roll?
Sure.
So a lot of times I do see where babies, they're rolling and they get their arm stuck and they're not sure what to do with it. So that's also like when working on like on tummy time and on your elbows to help work those shoulder girdle muscles. And then when you're doing your active assistive rolling, you know, you can lift their arm up, and I can show you with my doll. So that way you're doing that passive movement to help him figure it out later on his own. So I would, you know, he came here and he was stuck. So then you lift his arm up, and then you can give him some help like at the leg here and kind of internally rotate it and pull it, arm up, and kind of let him finish it. Because I think it was more about that arm being stuck. So you could always first maybe do the arm first and kind of give him a little push at his hips and see if he does it. If he needs more help, then I'd probably add the leg to come up here. And then you can play here for a little bit and then see, sometimes the arm will get stuck again, sometimes kids get stuck on their tummy because they don't know what to do with their arms. So then you can kind of bring it in and help him get to, a semi sideline position, and then stroke his back to help him come back. So if anyone else, if you're having that problem with your baby's arm getting stuck, that could be a good one. And we can always circle back with Arthur, right? That was Arthur later, and we can try that again. So who wants to go next? And does anyone have any questions about that?
We can go next. We don't have any questions yet. Okay. I'm hoping he'll cooperate. He also was crying a second ago. Hold on. Okay, buddy. Can you do it? Can you see it? Okay. I know exactly. I know. Hold on. Can we go the other way? Leave here for a second. You did so good. You did so good, but
That was so good. Okay, this is Arthur. Okay, I'm sorry. I was like,
it's okay. He's just very mad.
oh, he did awesome. Good job, Arthur.
Good.
And then Brittany, do you want to try with Austin? Or
He is knocked out.
knocked out? Okay. And then later when he's awake, because I know it's so hard to find those windows where they're like active. So that's when I took the videos of mine like it was like at midnight. I was like, he's gonna be passed out like during the class. But if you wanted to take a video and send it, if you wanted any tips or anything, let me know. And I can send you my video too, so that way that might.
Please.
So let me go ahead and share my screen again. And then I'm just going to share a video of, it's my coworker again, and her baby, I think, was about 6 months here. And this activity and I'm sure that you all have already all done it, where your baby's on your chest and you're rolling. That's also good. And even if your baby's already rolling, it's still a great exercise to work on body awareness and bonding and playing with, intention. So I'll go ahead and share that. Oops.
Only rolling to one side, try these activities. This one in particular is a great way to bond with your baby and help her feel comfortable moving her body in space in this fashion to prepare for rolling. Later, you can progress to moving her on a Swiss ball. You can start with small movements and then progress to larger movements. If you bang or tap on the ball, this will also give her sensory feedback in the form of vibrations to help her know where her body is in space. Gently bouncing your baby is also a great tip to provide this feedback.
So that's also good if when you're working on later on, if you notice that your baby's only rolling to one side, then you could always do this activity to help them feel comfortable going to both sides. I had another rolling video, but I'm going to go ahead and move on to sitting, so we don't spend too much time on rolling. So when should your baby be able to sit? Prop sitting, where they have their hands forward on the ground or a pillow, about 4 months. Sitting supported in a high chair, about 6 months, because they're probably eating solid foods by 6 months. Sitting unsupported for several minutes, 7 months, but sitting independent for up to 10 minutes, about 8 months. And then transitioning in and out of sitting without falling is 9 months. And I think Lauren and Lindsay had questions about transitioning in and out, like tummy to sitting, sitting to tummy. So we're going to get to that also when we're talking about sitting. I just wanted to add to that, like with sitting, there's different levels of difficulty, and also like where you start with most support to least support. So most support will be where Brittany and I are right now. And I have a video of that I can share where we're still supporting, you know, their trunk and their heads, probably most of the time, but their heads should be getting a lot stronger. So I can show that video too, so Brittany can see it. And then prop sitting, but they still have that trunk support during prop sitting until they don't need it. And then we have forearm support, which looks like, you know, like this, and then you can lessen your support to hands. And then so the lower you go, the more they're doing on their own. And then when they're sitting, you can even hear when they can sit by themselves around 7 months, you can add tracking a toy at the same time while they're sitting to help work on that balance. And then we go into reaching. Now, I just want to know, is everybody, all my 8 to 9 month olds, are they all sitting pretty independently? Yes. Okay. And then I'm going to share the video of working with my baby for Brittany, and then we're going to go into, and then we can go into transitioning in and out of sitting. Does that sound good? Because I think that's where you all are at, right? Okay. So Brittany, this video is for you.
Side to side. Okay.
So I you know how, you know, that burping position where they're not over your shoulder, that you're still working on like head control there and sitting there. And I really felt like burping, Levi, like that has really helped like with his neck control. And I sit with him a lot anyways. I don't, like during a therapy session, I'd probably spend a little bit of time on sitting and more on like rolling, and reaching and that sort of thing with this age group, but I still sit with him a lot. So whenever any of you are sitting with your baby, you might as well start shifting side to side and get some of that shifting in, because in all positions, weight shifting side to side is going to help you with all those future milestones. So shifting and rocking, you can do forward and back. You can even do some diagonals, because diagonals is going to be what's going to help with that transitioning in and out of sitting. So I'm going to show how I like to work on being in transitioning to your tummy from sitting. So when they're sitting, I wouldn't place toys directly in front of them. I would place it out to the side, so that way they have to reach in these diagonal patterns. You can do some forward, but if you're working on that transition, you want to do diagonal, because when they transition to their tummy, they have to transition over this hip. So then the hip has to clear. And then when they come back up, you're going to kind of go to sideline, get that bottom leg up, and then come back up to sit. So that's why placing the toys in those diagonals will be beneficial, because it kind of follows, they can follow through that way. So I'm curious to see how you all have been working on sitting and getting to belly. And then I can add some cues on what to do next. But that's just kind of, I just wanted to kind of show you where we're going with it. You want to go with that diagonal movement. Is anyone's baby available to work on some sitting and reaching, and I can see how they look?
I think Emmy is maybe in a better mood right now, so we can try. She's, you know, household objects make the best toys. So, all right, you ready? Okay. Look. You want the remote?
Good job. And that was like a perfect transition. And so with Emmy, is she doing like, how does her I'm gonna kind of skip to crawling. Okay, I was curious how her crawl was looking.
She was army crawling for a few weeks. She had started right around like 6.5 months. But then it took like a few weeks and then she slowly started doing more hands and knees.
Okay.
So now she's been mostly hands and knees, I think, since I would say like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, and I think she was the perfect model right now to show that transition. Yeah, she's transitioning over her hip, and it's that diagonal pattern that I was showing with the doll. So that's like a perfect example of why you want to place those toys just like she's doing right now to get that transition over her hip in that diagonal pattern. Because if it's just forward, you don't want to start getting where they kind of spread their legs and plop on their belly. You want to get that diagonal pattern. So thank you so much, Emmy. Perfect model. And is anyone else's baby available to show me how they're sitting and reaching? I think, let's see.
We can try. We'll see how it does. Hold on. Okay. All right. See you for a second. Okay.
Can you aim the camera down a little bit? I'm sorry. And can everyone see, or should I stop sharing my screen so she's bigger? I'll stop.
I can see, but yeah, I don't know if it automatically goes to her screen or not. So.
I might have to talk first.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Is it going?
I can see.
Okay.
To make it bigger, she would have to be a presenter.
Oh, you say hello? Can you get it? Keep going. What is it? You get that? Are you interested? Are you frozen? Want to try for this? Got it? Oh. Oh, right. Okay.
Good
Does that
job.
work?
Oh, look at that. Good job.
Can you smile? Oh, thank you.
And something that you could do like next time, if you're trying to get him to do it and he ends up, kind of just like hanging out on his side, maybe we'll switch it around then, and then instead of having the toy here, bring it up and try to get his attention to see if he'll come back up. Because I'm curious if when he hung out there and then he kind of, transitioned, like away from the toy, but is he able to come back up?
Yeah.
So that's something that you can kind of go with his movements. Like if he's not doing that movement, then kind of bring him back up and then just kind of play with the toy. I think the camera's just distracting right now, but that was a beautiful, like, coming to stand.
Yeah. This new thing. As of like 3 days ago, he's obsessed.
Awesome. And then let's see, does anyone else want to show me how your baby's sitting and reaching? And
After Jason's done eating, I can do that.
Sounds good. And then I'm just gonna also kind of go through something else that I do when I'm working on sitting and reaching is you can have your baby here. You can also get on hands and knees from here. I know that someone else had a question about playing on hands and knees. So if the toys are on the opposite side, I think I brought a toy. So like you have your toy on the opposite side of your leg and you get them interested, then you can try to get your baby over your leg, and then your leg can help support their tummy, and they can play here, playing with the toy, releasing one arm, or even playing here where they're in tall kneeling and their hands are here. And then, you can kind of have some toys here or here. And then if you put it a little bit further away, we can start to see if they'll go over your leg, and you can kind of play that way. Does anyone want to try that with playing with them at like your legs open and toys on the opposite side, and see if we can get some crawling over your leg or some transitioning over the hip that way?
It seems like he's in a good mood, so we'll try.
All right.
All right, Arthur, can you see? All right. All right. Okay.
So I'm actually gonna have you put him in between your legs.
Oh, sorry. Okay, got it. This way going out. Okay.
And then there you go.
Yeah. You get it? Too far? Is that closer? What about this? Oh, hey.
And use your other leg, bring it in so you can prevent his legs from slipping. There you go. Or you can use your other hand too if it's easier.
Can you go a little further? You get up? Yeah. Good job, buddy.
Good job, Arthur.
And then coming back. Coming back over.
And is Arthur crawling?
Army crawling, not on his hands and knees. And it's been maybe 2 weeks, I think.
Okay.
He like drags himself around a lot. And then like if either my husband or myself are like is supporting his belly, he'll move his legs like he knows what he's supposed to do, but I don't think he's gotten his arms to go forward at the same time as his legs. And I don't know if that's the issue. I'm not sure.
Okay. So I think this would be a really good exercise because he was, lifting up one arm. His stomach was supported, and then slowly you can kind of even bend your leg so it's like he doesn't have the bigger part of your leg, so it's a little bit more. You can use your hands to kind of pick up his hips a little more, and even this play where he's here, or here, and you can slowly move your leg a little bit further away, so and you can block here, so he's having to like lean forward a little bit more, and you can kind of play with the position of your leg, and that can kind of help work his core also.
Okay.
Do you want to try doing something like that and doing some tall kneeling play and kind of playing where he's at on your leg?
Ooh. Yes, we can do that. Okay. So, do you want to get the water? He's distracted. Hold on. Let me how do I do this where he's not seeing so much? Hey buddy, can we do?
Block his feet.
Over there.
There we go. And he came up a little bit, and that looked good.
A little bit more.
Yeah, so I kind of play with it, right there, and trying to get him to keep his belly up off the ground. And if you need to give him cues, or if his knees start to splay, you can kind of use your hands to bring them in, even if it's on one side. And just make sure you're doing both sides when you're working on this activity.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about that?
I don't think I do. That makes sense to have him like have to go up and not give him the option to just slide on his belly or to pull himself around. That doesn't make sense. Okay.
I think blocking his feet and helping his knees stay in will help a lot playing at your leg.
And I think it'll be easier too upstairs where we have carpet, where we have the wood laminate, and he slides around like crazy on it.
And another good exercise to do to work his core is if he's sitting on your leg and you're doing some weight shifting, you can provide some hip, stability here. And when he's here, try to help, stroke his side and get him to come back up. So you can work on getting him to side bend to come back up. And then kind of stroke his side and see if you can keep his butt on your leg though. So you're kind of stabilizing there. And if you need to bring this hand up higher, so he doesn't fall, you can, and you can hold him here. And then with your other hand, kind of stroke. I think he sees something he wants. I know that's why he's going. He's like, I want that.
Phones.
All right, good job. And Lindsay, do you want to see if Arthur wants to try doing some sitting and reaching?
Tayson.
Jason, sorry.
That's okay. Okay. So. You want to come get that? Yeah. Come here. Come here. Come on.
And what if you go behind him and you help him shift his weight and help him come back up to sitting?
So if I'm behind him and
Yeah, you can do it over your leg too. And then you'll be behind him and then you're going to put your hand on his hips. I'm just going to move my leg so you can see. You're going to shift him, hold him, let him get the toy. And then when you bring him back up, you're going to push down on this hip to give him that cue to come back up.
get it. Over here. Come here. Come here. Normally when he reaches for something, if it's close enough, he'll get it. But if it's further away and if he grabs it, he'll just plop.
So this would be it would be a good activity to guide him, like support him and help him come back up. And you can even help him when he gets there and prevent him from plopping and then come back up. The other activity too that we had talked about where you're kind of shifting his weight to where he's a little bit uncomfortable, support him, but then give him cues or hold his hand and help him come back up. And then shift and then come back up. And you can even just have him on your leg and kind of shift. Do you want to try that now and see, we can see what that looks like? And you can start with small shifts. Good. And then when you come back up, you're gonna push down on your hip here. You see how when I'm pushing down, my doll's coming up a little bit to kind of help him come up. And then you can bring the bottom hand higher if you need to, and then just push down on the opposite hip to help him kind of do like this kind of motion. Good. So if you're here, your bottom hand will be so he doesn't fall, but this hand, yeah, on the hip. So shift him to your right, his trunk, and have, okay, so have that left hand high then, and then push down kind of on the hip.
Sorry, I'm trying to look at it. Okay.
Good. And then and then lift him up with your left hand, and then just kind of go side to side. And you can even maybe try not shifting him so much, but I think he's going because he wants something, right? Good.
Yeah.
Do you feel like he's helping you come back up, or is it just all you?
It's mainly me that time.
Okay. So yeah, you can kind of play with it. And if you have like a second person dangle a toy, so maybe if they see he wants that toy, then they can dangle it up here and try to get him to come back up. Or if you feel like he has the capability to do it, you can use one of your hands, yeah, to kind of bring it back up and get him to do that shifting side to side.
Okay.
And I'd even just, even holding his hands, you can just kind of work here and just work on that shifting. And I'm even moving I don't think you can see it, I'm also moving my foot to kind of get that. Yeah. So you can just working on his core that way, I think would be really beneficial.
Okay. Yeah, because he's been sitting really good by himself, but it's just yeah, he hasn't made any other milestones of anything else after that. So it's been like 6.5 months sitting, and then yeah, not so much after that. He hates being on his tummy. Like he rolls and rolls and rolls. Like I'll put him down and he'll end up clear across the other room just rolling. But like if he gets stuck or something and is on his tummy, he'll just like scream. Like he hates being on his stomach.
And that's when like the yoga ball, the Swiss ball might be beneficial because he might tolerate being on his tummy on there. Does anyone have a yoga ball?
Yeah.
So we could maybe try that at the end, just like get the babies on the balls and kind of play there, and you can see if he will tolerate it better on the ball.
Okay.
And then something else that I like to tell like the families that I work with is, instead of anytime like you're playing on the ground and you're getting up, or it's a little bit harder with Brittany and I because our babies are so small, but with the older babies, like when you're getting them out of the crib, you can always passively go through the transition. Like if they're laying on their back, roll them to their side and then help them come up to sitting, and then lift them up and take them wherever you're going to go. If you're going to do tummy time or play on the floor, you could sit them down, get them to their side, and then roll to the tummy. So you can always practice those transitions, to both sides whenever you're getting your child, instead of just like laying them on their stomach. You can help them go through those transitions. And I think especially if they're having trouble with those transitions, it will be good to have that. Do you want to try the transition? So everyone can kind of so your baby's sitting, and then let's say you want to work on tummy time. I don't think you can see me that well. Then you'll have him go to his side and then just roll to the tummy. And then to get back up, you can let him roll out and then just lift that bottom leg up and then come back up. And then help him come back up. Good. Good job. That was good, Tayson. And was Arthur and Emmy able to try that too? Okay.
We're attempting.
Good, good. Well, I'm glad that y'all are doing it at the same time. Okay. So I know Emmy's probably ready to get to some walking stuff and cruising stuff, right? So let me go ahead and let me share my screen. Let's see. So Kylie, I know you said that Emmy's pulling to stand at furniture, but you want to know what to do next, right?
Yeah, she's like slowly started like we have this like activity table. Ooh, whoa, 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 careful. And then she'll like stand up on this and then like kind of go from here to the couch here. But sorry, she's in a screeching phase right now too. But it's not like I don't know when cruising really comes after that and everything.
Okay. So let's see, cruising, and then see when the timeline is here. So they're usually walking by like probably about, I think it's usually about like 10 months.
I walked at 9 months when I
You
was
know,
baby.
you're ready to work on cruising.
That's my video.
Is it like do you know if it's like a genetic thing? Just because I'm curious. Like
early walkers?
yeah.
Did you skip crawling?
No.
No. I mean, it could be genes also. Like, maybe you were just built like with, more muscle mass. But yeah, my oldest son walked at 10 months, but he didn't master walking. He was just like, we'd hold his hands and then he was
Yeah.
able to take like a few steps at 10
Yeah.
months. So, and that could be a little bit early, but it's fine,
Okay.
and some babies, they won't, really walk till like 15 months. I think it's like
Right.
16 months where it's like, okay, let's look at your feet. Let's see, if we need orthotics and that kind of thing. But she's only 8.5 months, right?
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
didn't know like from this stage, like how long then after they actually start doing the more walking.
Well, I
Like
think it's awesome that she's even taking that one step from her activity table to the couch.
okay.
So at this point, what we would be working on, it's just working on those future milestones to help her get there faster.
Okay.
And using her timeline because she's doing really good. So you can practice, sidestepping at the couch, like going further distances. And this is let me share my screen. I have like a little video I made a while ago just on side cruising. So, oops.
You know that you're ready to work on cruising once your child can pull to stand at a piece of furniture. Today I'm using the foam roller to act as a piece of furniture for my doll. So, when your child is standing here, to practice cruising, you will shift their weight on one leg, and then this frees up the other leg. Then you will passively place it, and at their hips, shift their weight over the stance leg to free up this leg and passively move it. You will do this across maybe a small couch, maybe 3 to 5 steps, and then eventually you'll be able to shift their weight, passively take out the leading leg, shift their weight on that leg, and then they will start to actively bring in their own leg without you having to do it. Okay?
So, let me stop sharing. So with that video, maybe right now you can maybe put the activity table further away, start on the other end of the couch, put her toys there, and let's try that weight shifting where you're passively moving her legs, but she may already be to the point where you only have to passively move one leg and she'll bring the other leg in. Sometimes it's hard. Babies have trouble coordinating their arms with their legs. So it's like their legs are over here and their arms are here. So you might have to also help her walk her hands. You're on mute right now, though.
Sorry, I'm gonna see. Oh goodness, stop grabbing the screen. It's a touch screen. You can't do that. I'm gonna see if I can do that like along the couch. Get up there. You should come. I know she's behind you. Look up here.
I'll turn my camera on.
Look at me. Look what's up there. Look what's up there. Yeah, good job. Am I doing this right? I'm just trying to like.
Looks good. And just
Okay.
keep moving the toy and going further and further.
Here's your cups. Like I feel like she's trying to figure it out. It's just like she almost gets stuck like in a.
There we go. That was a good step. You didn't even need to help her take that. Sorry.
It's okay. Well, okay.
And she got down to sitting really well. Like she
Yeah,
went half kneeling.
she's gotten better about that. We definitely have had a lot of bumped heads and accidents over the last couple of weeks, but she's gotten softer about it.
Good, good. And I know sometimes like when I'm working on that with kids, sometimes I'll put a little seat there and we'll work on just like sit to stand and going down slowly. And then we'll get to half kneeling, but she already did half kneeling. So I think that's awesome.
Okay.
And then another thing you could work on too is, once she gets better with the cruising part, then you can add toys on an elevated surface depending on her height, and just
Okay.
doing a little squat to pick up a toy and then put it back on the couch.
Okay.
And then I think that the fact that she can go from the activity table to the couch and that, she doesn't have, that fear, because sometimes it's the fear babies have, like, oh, it's like with balance.
Yeah.
So that's good that she's doing that. So just kind of guard her and keep working on that back and forth over and over again.
Okay.
And then since she is doing great with crawling, I'd probably add some obstacles for her to crawl over cushions and that sort of thing. With your couch, you can take the cushions off, put them on the ground and get her to climb up, climb down.
Okay.
If you have stairs in your house, you can practice with the cushions, turning around and climbing backwards.
Okay. Too far away. There you go.
And do you have any questions for me about that or any other concerns that you want?
I guess when it comes to like crawling off of things, like should we be teaching her to crawl, like to turn around and crawl like feet first down, or like is it okay if she's crawling like head first, I guess, if that makes sense?
Well, I'd have her turn and go down backwards. So even like if you're sitting on the couch, I would turn her body and let her slide down till her feet touch the ground.
Okay.
And keep passively doing that anytime y'all are hanging out on the couch, so that way she'll learn.
Okay.
Yeah. So then by the time she gets to climbing on the couch, she'll know how to climb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Welcome. And I think there was, and then the other thing that I did want to talk about, oh, and here, let me show this. I'm going to show this one video of using a seat to do the sit to stand thing that we talked about, just like for the other moms too, when their kids get there. So that's just, working on slowly going sit to stand and controlling her descent. So, and even Lauren, you can even work with Arthur since he's pulling to stand when he's standing. If you're holding him, oh, I don't have my camera on. Sorry.
Sorry.
Oops. Okay. Like when you're holding him, if you're just hanging out there, do some weight shifting, because weight shifting in all positions is good for those milestones. And even Kylie, when you're playing with her and standing, you can do this because that's going to help with her shifting too, on the couch and going sideways. And you can even try to kind of add a little bit of rotation to get some forward steps in there if you want to.
You found confidence not stop. So this is very helpful and I will practice it, I promise. She just keeps screaming. Sorry.
I just wanted to share that. And then Brittany, do you have any questions? Austin might probably still sleeping or getting fed. And does anybody else have any questions regarding any other milestones, or did we touch base on everything that you had questions about?
I don't have any questions, but this is very helpful because it's tough to know like what to do next. Or if I'm doing the right things to help him like crawl more on all fours and sit down. This is going to be really helpful. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And I can share, because I didn't go over the milestone slide, but I was using a form called it's called an ELAP, and we used to use it in Virginia. It's not a standardized test, but it's a grading tool, so you can see exactly where your child falls. It's not the perfect, I mean, each kind of testing thing's a little bit different, and it's not perfect because sometimes it jumps ages, but I still think it's a good tool. So I'll send that to you all. And then that can also let us know if you all want to meet again next month. It can let us know what to work on for each of you. So let me know when you all do that, and if you identified any areas that we should do or we can revisit. And then let's see. And just so you all know, hold on, I'm just going to share my screen, and then we can disconnect because I know that the babies are probably hungry. Oops. I do also offer one-on-one services, virtual or in person. And I think it would be fun to do this again next month if y'all are interested. And then if I send you all a link, it would be awesome if you all could leave a review on how you liked the class and if it was helpful and if you gained any knowledge from it. And that's my contact information, but y'all know how to contact me because we're in a group. And that's all. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy your day.
You too.
Bye.